What's good, YouTube? It's SBK, man. I'm back at y'all with another video. In today's video, I'm giving y'all a crucial key tip on how to become a better videographer. Like if you're in your first year, second year, maybe even if you're third year. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm in my 6th year and it still helps me out. So to become a better videographer, you should work for your church. You should volunteer for your church. Everybody know churches happen every Sunday. They need it recorded. They live stream church. They put it on YouTube. It goes to radio stations. I was controlling the cameras at like 14, 15 years old before I even knew I wanted to be a videographer. The pastor said he needed like some kids to control the cameras because no adults was doing it. So me and my uncle, we were around the same age, which is crazy, but I know me and my uncle is around the same age. We volunteered to control the cameras, and it was like these big cameras. You had to sit on the chair. Basically, you just move it and you follow the pastor. That's all we had to do, turn it on. Somebody else like did the settings and everything at the top of the church, and then somebody was on the floor sitting. So it was 2 different camera angles. So me and my uncle would control them every Sunday, and I actually like doing it. It's crazy how I like doing that, and I became a videographer. So I did that about 14, 15. And then I moved on from that church and I went to another church. It got around that I was a videographer. I didn't start off doing it in the church yet. I was just going to the church, sitting there, listening. The pastor hit me up, volunteered to do some videography work for the church. And I did. I started filming every week, coming in every week. I was volunteering. I didn't want to be paid. Feel like you're supposed to give your gift back to God. He gave me that will to become a videographer, learn all this, the patience to sit down and edit it. I really wanted to just volunteer and help push out God's message with my videography work. So I didn't mind doing it for free. So I did it for free. We have a media team, people that control the audio boards, and they live stream it on Facebook every week. And they weren't putting it on YouTube, and they wasn't putting it on social media platforms. So that's where I came in at. I record the sermons that the pastor preach. I distribute them to all the social media platforms. I also put it on YouTube, the whole sermon. So that is my job. I do that every Sunday. I record, the choir singing, but I started off for free, y'all. I started off for free, and eventually they paid me. They offered to pay me. I've been doing it for so long. I never asked to be paid, but they offered to pay me, and it just show you if you keep at it and you get better and better and you sharpen your skills. And it's not even a lot of money, but it still feels good to get paid for your work. I don't expect to be rich off of this. I really want to spread God's message, and to know like I'm doing that online. People are getting these messages about God from like me recording. Makes me feel great. It's worth more than any amount of money. But I'm about to tell y'all how it benefits you volunteering for your church to do videography. For one, you get hands-on experience, like real practice, shooting reels and like Instagram, Facebook reels. You're gonna be shooting live events, you're gonna be shooting sermons, you're gonna be shooting music and people, like the people in the crowd. The adaptability that you have to adapt to in the church, it's a challenge because everybody know churches, the light is kind of like low light. It's not the brightest in church. So you have to learn your settings and get it to look good with you not being able to control the light. You're not going to be able to always control the environment, like the lights in the environment. So you're going to have to adapt to that. That is a big major part in being a videographer. It's no retakes, because once the pastor's preaching, you can't just tell the pastor to start over, retake. So you got to get it right on this try. You got to get your settings right. You got to get your composition right, the angle that you want to shoot at. I shoot in 2 different angles at church. I shoot in the front, and I have a camera set up on the side angle. So you got to get them angles right off the rip, man. There's no redos, no retakes. So it got no choice but to better your skills. Problem solving, you're going to have to do a lot of problem solving as a videographer. You never know what's going to go wrong, what environment you're going to be in, if you can control the lights, if you can't control the lights, subjects, no retakes. It's just a lot. So you got to be able to problem solve as a videographer. You're going to grow as an editor too, because you're editing every Sunday. So it's going to help you with your sound mixing, because you want to get the audio right. I hook up a mic to the pastor, which is how I get good audio for the YouTube footage, because the church is so big. Of course, I cannot use my regular camera and just get that audio. So I always hook up a mic to it. You're able to shoot in RAW, and you're able to color grade that footage and make it look good. I've been shooting so much for the church now, I just use an editor now. I was editing them at first, but I use an editor now. They just edit my sermons and stuff like that, and I just send it to them, y'all. Because it's all about working smarter, not harder. That's one thing I learned as a videographer. If you think you're going to be trying to edit every single thing, I learned that no business grows by just you being the only person. So to be able to scale your business, it has to be more than one person. You can't do every single job. I did every single job for years, and I got burnt out. Every job has a system, and it has employees. your job did not just scale to a big business by just one employee. They got multiple employees. Even if it's 10 employees, 20 employees, 500 employees, not just use your job as a job. You have to pay attention to what they're doing. How are they a successful business? So they got a system. They have you come in every day. You do the same thing. Most likely they'll change stuff up here and now, but for the most part, you come into your job every day and do the same thing. That is called a system, and that is how most jobs grow. They got a system. They got employees. They got help. You need help. You cannot grow as a videographer with just you. Most likely you can start off, you can get far, but you can get further with a team, y'all. The connections that you're gonna make at the church is crazy too, because I'm close with the pastor. The pastor have called me, put me on to like gigs and stuff. He passed my name around to people who needed my service. In the church, they got a list of entrepreneurs in the church and what services they offer, and they try to tell everybody to keep everything in-house. You will meet tons of people inside the church. You never know what they do, who they are. So the connections is very strong. Connections will really get you further in this career, bro. Churches are a community hub, so word of mouth, you're gonna get around if you do good work. Your name gonna get shared as someone who do videography work. We have a media team in our church, so somebody who do the soundboard, somebody who run the Facebook Live, who put the slides up in the church across the screen. You got to learn teamwork. Also, working in the church builds your portfolio, y'all. If you got to think, if you're doing sermons, events, I got so many sermons that I've did of the pastor that I can just send to people. It builds your confidence. Shooting every single week, y'all, builds your confidence. I've been shooting for 6 years. You're not getting gigs every week, probably as a videographer. So if you're locked in with your church, you there every week, every Sunday. They do Bible study, all kind of stuff during the week. Working with limited resources also pushes you to a creative limit. You got no retakes. You got to become prepared. You got to know that the pastor's going to preach for an hour. Of not always being able to control the environment. Like a music video, I can go control that and set up the environment how I want to. But in church, I can't do that. So, y'all, I had to finish on my phone because my DJI ran out of space, y'all. Those are the key tips on how to become a better videographer. Go work for your church. And I'm telling y'all from experience, I still work for my church to this day. It have helped me. It have built connections. It does pay me every week right now. So hit the subscribe button and join the family.